Hey YouTube, today I'm going to show you how to clean a Manitowac. I'll let you know what the model number in the text. But this is the first thing that I do. See all this ice? What I do is I set aside a couple of bins of ice so that I can put it back in once I'm done cleaning.
Once I set aside some ice for the kitchen staff, and after cleaning, it's easier to refill the ice. Open this up, right? There's two screws here and here. Again, close this right here and up there. You put this into clean mode. Push that. Clean mode. This screen will show you when to put in the chemical. The chemical has to be nickel safe. For Manitowacs, the chemical has to be nickel safe. Okay, typically, New Calgon, I'm not affiliate, but this is a type of cleaner that I use. Sometimes they have their own Manitowac cleaners. So right now it's filling with water. First it purges the water, or it'll go into harvest. Whatever the ice that's inside behind here will first fall out. The water that's in here will then dump out, and then it will fill with water. And shortly it will ask to put in the chemical. I typically transfer the big bottle into a ketchup bottle, food safety, right? Everything has to be food grade. There you go, here, look. Add chemical. It also asks auto ice on. Typically, no, I want the machine to turn off so that I can take away the parts, take out the parts to clean it. But I will transfer it. 6 to 8 ounces here fills at least 3 machines, right? Third. So here we go. So I typically, the reason I like to use this ketchup squirt is because it's easier to put it from the top, right here. Alright, so I gotta take this out. Alright, so I'm getting the top off. Top is exposed, you gotta pop. And this thing, they're all different. Sometimes it's a rubber, or silicone. Alright, that covers the top. Put this to the side. Then I take the ice thickness probe out. Alright, right here. Take a little thing that squeezes out. Take them out and set it to the side right here. I don't touch it, I leave it. Okay, then I will take this and pour a third right into here, over the top, right here. There you go. About a third, right? It's about a third. Okay, and during this waiting period, what I do is I dump the ice. So the wash cycle is done, machine turned off, the bin is emptied. I gotta clean it later, right? Next thing is we gotta take apart all these components to clean them. So the tools you need is a 11-in-1 and also maybe a small channel locks, okay? So the first thing you do is you gotta take this flap out, and the way you do it is you kind of pull in the middle. 2 hands is better, but and get that wedge, get it out, put it to the side, and then your channel locks, it's kind of hard to do, loosen these bolts, and you can use your hand after you loosen them. Now the screws are all out. I'll put it right here. Take the last screw off. And kind of grab it from the top here and just gently yank it. There you go. You take this out. You kind of cross your hands. I don't know if I can do this with one hand. Well, you cross your hand like this. And then with this, there's a tiny little screw right here. I'm gonna get that in there, and then loosen it up. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Okay. This is out. Alright, put that screw to the side. And then this thing comes out. Look at that. Then what I do is, it's pretty bad in here. See that? Look at that. All that biofilm. What I like to do is this thing, you gently yank it, and pop out. It's easier to clean around here. Just leave it hanging. Make sure you don't get any water. Ooh. Okay. Alright, time to clean. So I use a combination of vinegar and Dawn dish soap to make this concoction. It's like a calcium dissolver. Sometimes it's called a liquid ice machine cleaner. And it's a food grade phosphoric acid. It works great. And this thing, I typically like to put some grease on it, which is also food grade. You can get this at Harbor Freight. Right here. Put a little dab. And then just put it over the O-ring. And then stick it in that hole right there. In its reverse order, you get one of these guys. And stick them in. Make sure it's nice and snug. And you take these. What you got here, these little silver knobs, stainless steel. Make sure you take this one first and then the bottom tray. And you use that plug. Okay, got that screw in. You can use that 11-in-1 tool to go in. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Finally, you put this tray in. Okay, it's hard to do with one hand, but make sure you clip it underneath. Under. And finally, the last bit is the curtain. How I do is just take one corner in, put it in, and then this corner, use 2 hands, like that. Then you hit clean mode, and this time you put in the sanitizer. So it'll go through purging water, then it'll say add water. Then you just add the sanitizer. So this is the sanitizer I use. Again, there's a lot of different products. Just a cap full. That's all you need. Just a cap. Very little bit. You don't need a whole lot. Alright. Add chemical. Same thing. Just put it from the top. That's it. Okay, the last thing you want to do is you want to make sure the machine makes ice. So turn it on. Go into menu. Go into service. Go into real time. Time and temp, and you want to look at your thermistors T1, T2, T3, T4. Okay, T4 is out of spec. 475 degrees is not what it should be. So clearly this machine is going to stall and may possibly go into safe mode. I need to change the T4 before the system would stop. That's another video.